Hi, my name is Richard. I'm applying to be a 2017 Shuttleworth Fellow, and what I want to do with my fellowship is to transform how public services are delivered so that they become engines for self-efficacy, this idea that people can make a difference. I've spent most of the last 20 years trying to open up public sector institutions to give people more control over their lives. I've worked in empowerment, I've worked around the world with the UN, the OECD, and the one thing that I've learned is that the opening up of public services is most exciting when it gives people real power. And I've also learned that this doesn't happen very often. The vast majority of our services that we experience from the moment we're born, our nurseries, to schools, to colleges, to our places of work, to the social care systems we get in later life, tend to be deeply paternalistic, deeply top-down. As they are top-down, at each stage they are undermining our self-efficacy. Professor Albert Bandura from Stanford, he coined the phrase in the 1960s, and it's about this belief that you can make a difference. And it's incredibly important because if you want to do anything, you've got to have self-efficacy. If you want to be able to find a job, stay healthy, even fall in love, you've got to believe that you can make a difference. And we know how to do this. This has been really well established now through what I call the self-efficacy sciences. But these self-efficacy sciences haven't been exploited by the public sector. We've tended to do things that are about big data or open data or transparency or public involvement, but these haven't worked on the psychology of how we can support people to be able to have self-confidence and self-belief. And this is an essential prerequisite for us to make the most of how our society is changing. So what I would do through the fellowship is create a global movement towards self-efficacy. There are people doing this already. There's Buurtzorg in Holland, there's Groundswell in London, there's the Bright Side Trust doing phenomenal things with youth unemployment, but these are pockets. There isn't really a narrative around these self-efficacy sciences, and I would want to create that. We would start by doing a pamphlet, sort of written really high profile, with video, with blogs. I write for The Guardian. We'll get some stuff out there to really raise some awareness around this, and we'll begin to create a community of people building self-efficacy. Then, as we're mapping the sector, getting a sense of what works and what doesn't, we'll start prototyping. We'll highlight the brilliant practice that's out there, and we'll prototype in working with public sector partners to be able to do this. I've got really good relationships with major international institutions like the OECD and the UN, and also in public sector organisations to do this. But the reason I haven't managed to make that transition yet is because we need a boost. I need to be able to have some support to free myself up from the everyday consultancy that I have running my organisation. It's just been really hard to do that. So that's what this fellowship would be all about. It would be about generating a global movement towards creating genuinely real people-powered public services. And I think there's never been a better time for this than now. Post-2008, the dominant response from the government was efficiency-led lean methods, whereby we try to squeeze as much resource as we possibly can out of the public sector. We now know that that's been a key driver of populism, of Brexit, of Trump, of Le Pen in France. People have been feeling squeezed out of their society. The public services have been in decline. People feel they are lacking control in their lives. And the politicians know this now. And they are open to doing something different. So I think we're going to be knocking on an open door. But also, this is about the wider open agenda that Shuttleworth is interested in. It's driven by the internet and open data. These things fundamentally change the relationship between the expert and the service user. It's also about opening up the services themselves. It is fundamentally about opening them up. And then finally, it's ensuring that everyone will reap the benefits of the open society. Because at present, there's a real problem that potentially only those who've got self-confidence, only the haves, will be able to make the most of the data revolution. The have-nots, those with low self-confidence, just simply won't be able to take the new opportunities that are available. So that's the proposition. I hope you're inspired by it. This is my passion. It feels like my life has been leading to this point, and I really do hope that we get a chance to discuss it.